I believe. But for now, the models, the deep learning models or artificial intelligence models, it's some errors, or my opinion, these models cannot has a emotion, my opinion. So interprets the emotion. So, but I believe the next years it's the the models more complex and more trained or so on. And you, Genemis?
I believe researcher has done something similar. Solve the problem in the bank. He used Chat GPT and the other AI for simulate your voice. And you, Melissa?
I had never thought about that before the video, but I think people don't make sense sometimes. So I think it's very hard for a computer like talk to a person. But as a marketing coordinator, we try a lot like to set some conversations and everything. But when I am buying something on a website, I immediately know when it's a bot. So I don't think computers can impersonate like a human being.
Yeah, I think in some cases, when we train a lot the computer, the machine learning, for example, if we talk a lot with machine learning with about programming, the computer can talk with us a lot about programming too. But if you start to talk with another topic that the machine learning never talked before, it's so hard to have a good answer of this machine learning of this computer. So I think it's depend of how the computer was trained before, because it's a computer, right? We need to programming and teach what exactly they need to do. Even if it is artificial intelligence, we need to train it before. So I think it's depend of the topic that we are talking about with the computer. That's it. So let's move on to the next question. So Jenemis, have you ever talked to a computer you thought was a human?
The question on number 2.
Yes.
Yes, in some chats edited by robots, usually the experience is very bad because the voice is synthesized and the no heavy dynamic and speak the Portuguese.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah, move on. Choose someone. What do you think, Eduardo?
In my case, no. The chatbot is very. It were very simple. If he was child now, maybe Alexa, maybe okay, but for now I no. I thought I always thought these chatbots are chat in the cell phone is a robot. In my case, no. And you, Melissa?
Yes, sometimes I try to resolve something like at Nubank, and I don't care if it's a chatbot, but sometimes it's really frustrating because you ask for something and the answer like doesn't mean what you asked for. But and sometimes I just answer the phone and there is this voice like recorder. And sometimes I answer like, hi, and oh no, oh my God, it's a computer. And I feel so dumb for answer. But now I already learned about it. So I don't like it, but sometimes it happens.
Yeah, in my case, thanks good. A chatbot never talked with me like a human, so I can know if I'm talking with a chatbot or a human. But of course, when we enter in a website, for example, in the most of the e-commerces, the big e-commerces, we can find a chat that some people don't know if he's a chatbot or a human, and I think it can pass like a human in a lot of time with the other people. But I think for who work with software, it's easy to know, for example, when we type something and it's so faster the answer, the most of time we can know that it's a chatbot that are answering us. So I never talked with a computer that I thought that was a human. I think that's it. So let's move on to the next question. So Melissa, how do you think you would react if you realize you are talking to a computer instead of a human being?
Yes, like I really don't care if it's faster and like answer my question. So I think that's fine. But
Yeah,
sometimes it's frustrating, like when you are applying to a job and the answer is like, oh no, you're not good enough to this job. Thank you. And you're like, no, like I spent a lot of time doing the tests and everything. So please, someone talk to me, not a computer. So
yeah, the
it's
answer is
frustrating
equal.
sometimes. Yes.
The answer is equal for everybody. And what about you, Janemis? What do you think?
I think the is very bad the experience because it spend a lot of time um, you um, the voice is synthesized. No dynamic keys, no have dynamic keys. Uh, Dynamic same as a human.
Yeah. Uh, the most of time when we are talking with this kind of computer chatbot, we want an answer. We are with some question. And for example, I use a bank that when we are talking with the chat too, I can type just one word and the chatbot will answer with a totally random answer related with the word that I type. So sometimes I think it's hard because we haven't personalized answer. All right, it's equal to everybody. And as Melissa said, when we are applying for a job, the answer it's equal to everybody. It's not a real person giving you your really feedback. All right, it's programmed to feedback to everybody. It's equal. That's total. I agree with this. And what about you, Eduardo? What do you think?
It's it's depends of the situation. por exemplo, a situation solve a problem, for example, a problem on the cell phone service, for example. So I am talking or I am calling the company to solve a problem for me. So after the talking with him, if he, I think I was sad because the robot doesn't have emotion or feelings to solve my problem, for example. So in this case, I will sad, for example. Eu ficaria so in this case, yes, but in another situation, it depends for me. It depends.
Yeah, robot cannot feel what the
Yes.
customer is feeling,
For-
right?
For example, the interview a job. The feelings or our feelings or emotion. In my opinion, it's very important. So to explain your experience, or to explain your education, for example, the robot is gets keywords or someone the robot or chatbot don't care about your situation in the specific experience, in my opinion. So it depends.
Yeah, that's true.
So can I choose another question? Can be on the number 4. In your opinion, how advanced your computer needs to be a convincingly imitate a human being? It depends again, because, for example, the initial conversation, it's okay. The actual or the recent chatbot is okay. How are you? Fine, and you? How was the weather? So it's perfect, the chatbot, but it depends the topic. When you was talking with the robot, for example, it depends the topic. So, but in initial conversation, it's okay. The robot or the computer is very nice, in my opinion. So depends the topic. It's yet more information in your computer, in your robot or computer. About you, Jean, in your opinion.
I think to a computer imitate a human, the computer needs to act to type as us type usually. For example, we use emoji, and sometimes we do other questions for who we're talking together. So the most of time the answers is so robotic. It's everything exactly without errors. And sometimes, of course, it's okay. But it don't seems like you were talking with a human. It's so faster the answers. It's equal to everybody. It's not personalized to who you are talking. I know that the most of chatbot, for example, we put our name and the answer is with our name. It's good. I think it's one way to imitate a human, but I think the computers need to it's hard, but needs to understand the feeling of who are talking. I think that's the biggest problem. It's to the computer imitates exactly the human. I think needs to understand what the who are talking together is feeling, it's expressing. And what do you think, Janemis?
In general terms, yes, I believe. But when we need something more specific, the machine still cannot solve this demand. Um, it's the depends for safety. Do you use it? Do you need in moment? For example, in internet banking, the suggestion is very good because in the internet banking is a few possibilities, but in your programs, um, for example, in healthy healthy um, health plans is more difficult.
Yeah, it's the kind of the area that the chatbot is talking about. And Melissa, can you answer?
Yes, I think the computer doesn't need to be so advanced, but the company must have a lot of data about like the service and the answers. But I think the computer, if the computer knows more about the person, it helps a lot because like the old of the how old is this person, because you talk to a kid some way and with an old people with an old person in other way. So I think this probably could help with the conversation, like to be more fluid and to be more helpful. So I think depends on the data that you have.
Yes. So Melissa, can you choose? Can you read the next question?
Yes, the
Question
number
number
5.
5. Yeah.
What are some telltale signs you use to determine whether you are talking to a human being or a computer?
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
can answer. Can you start answer?
Yes, I was thinking because I need sometimes the answer is very short. So, there is a computer or very fast, like you said earlier. And sometimes I think that there's no way someone is working right now and is so fast. So it's probably a computer. And sometimes you said something and the answer is like another thing. So I think maybe this.
Yeah. Uh, as you said, when the computer answers so fast, probably it's a chatbot. When the answer have no grammar problems, it's totally exactly the grammar. Uh, and I think when we ask 2 times the same question and the answers, it's totally equal. So this this is the telltale signs that I use to know if I'm talking with a computer or with a human.
This is a
And
great one. Like repeat the same sentence. I
yeah,
will use this.
exactly. And what about you, Jananis? What do you think?
Um, in contactive for voice, the dynamic of voice is crucial to know if I am talking a machine or human. When it's chatty, they usually offer us some alternatives. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah. And you, Eduardo?
how you said about the voice, the machine voice, it's a difference yet, and then about the texting, it's a the text is more perfect. Is it's possible the robot in the perfect and the fast. So it's the probably is very high. It's about how a right a hobbit. That's it, my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Some chatbots usually put an animation that it's the 3 points that seems that the chatbot is typing, right? But of course, the answer it's totally programmed to answer the client. But I think it's a good way to try to show that we are talking with a human. But of course, these 3 points as you are typing, of course, we are talking with a computer the most of time. But go ahead, Eduardo. You wanna read the next question?
okay, can be this number the number 6. Number 6, it's a good question. Do you have any ethical concerns about computer impersonating humans? Yes, yes, I have, because actually we have a big problem, in my opinion, about the fake face, the fake videos. So in my opinion, it's this context, this topic is the same. It's very dangerous, in my opinion. How for example, chatbot OpenAI, for example, the big how the algorithm, how the algorithms how algorithm is training, what topics, for example, this chatbot learned, for example. So it's depends the for example, I read this afternoon this chatbot OpenAI to train these algorithms, the much in the money around $6 or $5 million. So I have this, for example, this chatbot. There are many topics. So, but what's the source this topic, for example? So it's in my opinion, it's a very dangerous, or it's a very preoccupating. What the chatbot learned, for example. So in my opinion, it's very dangerous, and the fake bots, so on. How about you, Jean?
Yes, I think when you are talking about text, I think not too much, because sometimes it's easy to know when you are talking with a chat bot, computer, or a human. But I think when at the DAO, all right, the machine learning that create images, it's a little dangerous, because we can create images with, for example, a face of other person. Of course, it's actually it's not easy to do it, but it's possible. But I think it will be more hard, more dangerous when an artificial intelligence can reproduce another phrases with our voice. I think it will be a big problem. I don't know if it already exists, but when it arrived to us, I think it will be a big problem when artificial intelligence can reproduce our voice talking phrases that we don't talk before. So I think it will be probably a big problem than the chatbots or the DAO that can create images like we have currently. And what do you think, Melissa?
I was remembering that I think it's very creepy when someone dies and people start doing like tribute video of this person like speaking things and everything. And I think a lot about it because we don't know if that people want us doing this kind of thing. And imagine like you dying and people making these videos of you talking things that you don't agree or something like that. So I think it's very unethical doing this. And not everything needs to be done. Like, yeah, it's cool, it's technology, but why? Like, we really need a Michael Jackson video. Like, today we have a lot of him on video already. So I don't know. I think it's very creepy.
Yeah, I think it too. And what about you, Jeremis?
Yes, about the rights reservation, information they use. Deep fakes is very common today. But this worry about the bank using our information, our fingerprints, 15 years after close your account. But the bank is very security, and the AI, the people use it. No?
Yes. So let's move on to the question number 7. So Eduardo, do you think it's possible to program a computer to act more humanly than a human being? Why or why not?
Yeah, okay. My opinion, for now, it's not possible because the human, we are human, and we have feelings and emotion. In the for now, my opinion, the computers don't understand this emotion in the feelings, in my opinion. So for example, a conversation, a meeting, and our conversation our friends. So the computer don't understand the situation about your feelings or your expression, facial expression, for example. So for now, in my opinion, it's not possible. For example, a programmer building a computer system. So
Yeah, to
yeah,
understand the
yeah,
emotions of the.
yeah, in the Eugen. But
Yeah, I think a computer cannot act like a human, then not more humanly than a human being. As we talked before, I think the biggest problem of artificial intelligence of a chatbot is that the computer cannot understand our problems and what you are feeling when you want to solve something. The bank, it's a good example. When we enter in a chatbot of a bank, probably we are with a big problem, or we have some question that we cannot find at the fact of the bank, the frequently asked questions, and we wanna discover more about the topic, and we enter in a chat, and it's a robotic system talking with us. So in the most of time with frequently asking questions, it's easy to solve our problem, but when we cannot solve, the computer cannot feel what we are feeling. So because that, I think it's impossible right now a computer
yeah,
act more humanly than a human.
yeah. It depends. It depends the computer. Do you watch the movie Her? Her, yes, her.
No.
The man fall in love with a computer. So this computer, artificial intelligence or chatbot. So this movie tell us a history, the fiction movie. The man fall in love in computer. So, but this computer is very, very similar a human in this case, but it's a movie. Okay.
Yeah, it's like Wally, right? It's a robot that love the world and how can I say it? Uh, active the actions of the robot it's better than the human, right? The robot wanna to solve the problems that the humans do here on the earth. So of course it's a movie, it's a robot, it's a fiction, but this animation it's good because robot act be better than a human act. So in this case, it was funny. And what about you, Janemis? Have you answered?
I don't believe because the machine have no feelings or emotions, but it can have ethical principle, but will not be as like a human.
Yeah, the computer cannot understand us. So let's move on to the next question, the question number 8. So Melissa, in your opinion, what are the potential benefits or disadvantages of a computer being able to impersonate a human being?
I think we can automatize a lot of things, a lot of work, and this is very good. In marketing, we use a lot, and it's very cool and everything. But I think sometimes we we are humans and we need other humans, like we need to talk and we need to communicate with them. And I think sometimes automation is not good because we need attention. We need someone to talk to us, and uh, I don't know, but I think in marketing I work for automation. We have a software that it's the principal thing is automatize things and everything, but our clients need this touch, like a person who I see, who I talk. And I think it's nice sometimes for big problems of things that no one wants to do. So yeah, computers are cool, but we need other people. Like in the pandemic, we learned this in the hard way. Like we need other people to communicate. I love working from home, but sometimes it's good just to choose to talk to someone. So yeah, very hard, very complicated.
Yeah, that's true. And what do you think, Jeremis?
The is the question number 10?
Number 8. What are the
Eight.
potential benefits or disadvantages of a computer being able to impersonate a human being?
Okay. The advantage is that we don't need to spend a lot of time in bureaucratic things like a bank or queue in the tram or public agencies. But in some time, something more specific, the machine would not serve us, at least for now.
Yeah, the benefits for me, it's for example, for a company, when a computer acts as a human and can replace a human, the company don't need to pay a human to work. All right, it's just programming the software, the computer to work like a human. So it's a good for a company. But that's disadvantage. It's that the customers uh, will sometimes have big, not a good, how can I say it, not good experiences talking with this kind of computer, even if a computer can impersonate a human being. Because if we have some problem that a computer cannot resolve, uh, we need to talk with other people that can understand us. And some banks are doing it actually when we cannot solve a problem with the initial chatbot with our initial question, and the chatbot redirect us to a real person to help us to solve our problem. So I think it's good. So, but for me, it's the disadvantage of it. It's that a computer the most of time cannot understand our problem, even if they act as a human. And for you, Eduardo, what do you think?
I agree all of you, but in my opinion, I think we can be a god. We can stay in in the sometime in the, for example, I Robert Eduardo working, so chatbot or Robert Eduardo, for example, so I don't know. So, but the benefits who you say about the, for example, some public services. So some small problems can solve fast, for example. So, but the disadvantage about the, well, in my opinion, we lost this contactual human. In my opinion, that's it.
Yeah, we will lose uh, our it's a hard question. Even in Portuguese, our empathy with the other. All right, we cannot feel what the customers
Okay.
are want. We cannot put us on the place of the customer. Like
But
the big problem.
but for example, do you prefer, Jean, do you prefer about the classes in your university, face to face or online? For example, your classes. Do you prefer
The class
what?
in my case, as I study technology, I can study in my house. But
Okay,
of course, I prefer go to the university because I stay all the time inside my bedroom. So I prefer go face to face with my
okay.
teachers. Uh, but I can study just by myself with a computer. I can learn a lot, for example, with chat GPT, but of course it's not equal face to face in my opinion.
Okay, maybe in the future we will have particular professors in the computer. So maybe, for example, for now we have, for example, English classes or classes online. So, but in the future we have a particular class computer or so I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. For example, a lot of universities have online classes, but is it's real teachers, all right? It's recorded classes. So I think it cannot be replaced
But
a real teacher by a
okay,
robot.
but this teacher can be a computer, for example, the answer your question, so on. So
Yeah,
yeah,
can be, but it's so hard. I think it's a long future to replace totally a teacher by a computer.
Yeah.
So everybody have answered the question number 8. Everybody, all right? So let's move on to the question 9. So Shanemis, how do you think current artificial intelligence technologies compare to a human brain in terms of their ability to mimic human behavior? You are muted, I think. Right. I cannot hear you. Let me try to unmute you. Yeah. So Melissa, can you start answering until Shanemis can talk to us?
Yes. I think this is the best that a computer can do is mimic, because you can put data and the computer can mimic these behaviors. And but I am trying to think about the situation that this is used for. I don't know. But I think sometimes this is exactly what we can learn from, because you talked before about education, and I remember that I don't know if it's Google or other, I don't know, but they have like a tool that you can simulate an English interview, and they are answering if you are doing great or no. And I think a lot about this because they are mimicking other things, like, and I think this is great. This is
Yeah.
a use that you can actually use for this.
Yeah, I read have used the Google interview and it's nice. It's so little problem that it's to talk in English in an interview, but to replace a teacher, it's a little hard. I don't would like to have a robot teaching me something.
I think
Go ahead.
this is great about interview, because the interview process, it's always almost always the same. Like, it depends on the company, but it's always the same question. So for this specific situation, I think it's great, but I don't know about the other ones.
Yeah, that's true. And like the question say, it's hard to compare a human brain with the ability of a computer, and because we have specific areas that studied as the machine learning. So I think this person that work with this wanna try to create a human brain into a computer, but right now it's so hard. I think the mimicking it's the just what the computer can do, and we need to teach exactly what the computer needs to do too, for act like to try to act like a human. And what about you, Eduardo? What do you think?
It's very. I agree with you. But in some tasks, small tasks, for example, the objection detection, the recognition, it's possible for now. But for now, in some tasks, but uh, okay. For example, drive a car. Okay, it's possible, and in most situations, I don't know Brazil, but here in Portugal, for example, Tesla drives computer, for example, alone. Computer drives Tesla alone. So in this case, for example, object recognition, the object detection. So about this field, it's possible mimic, but some fields about, for example, history or philosophy, it's very hard, in my opinion.
And what about you, Janemis? Can you talk right now, or your microphone is broke? Oh, okay. So, guys, we have 2 minutes, but let's try to answer the last question. So, Melissa, what is your opinion about the future of the computer being able to pass as a human? Do you think this is likely or unlikely to happen?
I think people are going to try because there is a lot of money in these companies, and we never know how we are going to use this technology. So probably we are going to have something that this is like worth it. I don't know. But I think for now it's just like, I don't know, curiosity and trying and studies. So I think, yes, this is going to happen, but not now, not so early.
Yeah, as a lot of things in the computer, I think the computers can be able to pass a human in a repetition process, like ask frequently ask the question that a programmer can program a computer to answer. But to act like a human and understand what the the other people that the computer are talking together, I think it's a long future. But I don't know. We have a lot of technology. We have a lot of artificial intelligence. So maybe in the next years, big companies will show for us some technology that can do what we think here, that it's impossible right now. And what do you think, Eduardo?
How you said, the repetitive tasks, it's possible to pass as humans, but in my opinion, in the futures, the same human, my opinion, no, but the same tasks, action human, it's possible, my opinion. The computers, it can be to do the indeterminate tasks.
Yeah, Jeremies unfortunately cannot talk with us. But guys, it's for today. Just a curiosity, all right? I'm not right then. So the chat GPT, right? The 10 question that we talked today, but it's just a curiosity. All right. Unfortunately, everybody can hear me. All right. So unfortunately today I cannot send it for you the survey for get your feedback, because I cannot enter at the system to get the link. But that's it for today, and I hope see all of you at the next week to talk about technology too. All right, that's it.
Thank
See
you.
you guys.
Bye.
Good night.